Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Brew Digital Hack Series. I have to say, and I know I say this all the time, I am very excited about this episode, but there's a really, really good reason for it. Number one, this actually touches on what I do, social media, but we're going to look at the other side, which is basically paid media. And more importantly, for somebody that works on primarily with a lot of clients on B2B, we're actually going to talk about a B2B advertising tool that could be very powerful, but yet not a lot of people are doing it right. So, what is it? And of course, you can, by the title of this episode, it's about Facebook ads. So, we are here today to talk about how this powerful tool can offer better targeting, lower costs, and serious potential from growth. But again, it has to be done correctly. And who is here to help us talk about how to do it correctly is no other than my colleague, Michele. Woo! Michele will do his introduction later because he will be better at it than I would. But just to let you know how amazing my colleague is, he's a digital advertising expert who has helped businesses unlock their potential. And we will really quiz him a lot on, Facebook versus LinkedIn, common mistakes that people do, and really what is it that people need in order to get started. So I'm gonna bring him to the stage. Yay! Hi, Michele. As promised, I'd love for you to do your introduction and say hi to all our audience.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me and having me today. My name is Michele. Starting from the beginning, my career started in sales and retail sales. And after 10 years, I crossed the frontier and I moved into digital marketing, where for the past 10 years, I've been between B2C and B2B, experiencing all the platform available and welcoming all the new platform that over the years have came. A bit more about me, if you must know, I love high mountains and low CPCs. I love big lakes and small audiences pool. I love pizza and I like pie charts.
And there you have it, our guest for today, Michele. So, Michele, I have so many questions to ask for me today. And, really, I Facebook is a channel that I am very accustomed to, especially before joining Brew Digital, the Adaptivist group. But it was because I was primarily within the B2C world. So it's so interesting for us to actually talk about Facebook in the context of B2B. I'm going to go ahead and ask you my first question, which is why do so many B2B companies underestimate Facebook ads?
Why so many B2B companies underestimate Facebook? Um, I think the main reason is the fact that in their experience, what they've seen was mainly B2C ads across the last 5 to 10 years. What's important to remember is that when we target our decision maker, um, where do you think we find them out of the working hours, for example? They are on Facebook. All the demographic with the age that we are trying to reach, they are active monthly user on Facebook. So why they are underestimating it, because they haven't seen enough of it. What they are missing out is the fact that they will find the people that they are looking for in on Facebook.
Okay, that's a very good point. And we're in, and I think we touched on this on, previous episodes wherein you really need to know and understand like where your audience is beyond working hours. And I think you make a very good point there, Michele. Um, for somebody that does a lot of like content engagement within LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is known as the go-to B2B platform. I really want to know with your opinion on like what would you say is how is Facebook compared to LinkedIn, and where do you see the difference lies in within paid media?
The differences that I see between the two platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook, are mainly in the type of content that you can post. When you're on Facebook, you tend to share privately more day-to-day updates. Rarely you will see on LinkedIn what you have had for lunch today or how beautiful day it's outside. That's because LinkedIn tends to be a bit more a professional space, which is fine. This means also that the placement there are a bit more expensive because the options to reach your ideal customer profile is more competitive. But the same person that is there is also on Facebook, and that's where you can reach them with multiple type of ads. You can reach them with the same type of similar type of content, but most importantly, you can reach them with a cheaper cost at the moment. The cost is something that you will notice immediately when you start comparing your activity in the two platforms. But what you need to remember all the time is that digital marketing today is more complicated and you will need more touch point than you used to. So you can't go live on one platform only and expect to have the same results. You will need to follow these people to nurture their journey, um, depending on the campaign type you decide, but most importantly, follow them through different touch points, showing them different type of content in order to achieve what's actually your main objective.
And Michele has already given us a little teaser of something that we will discuss later on, which is the campaign type and the objective that you really have to think about when you start doing your ads. Now that we've touched on very deeply in terms of like why consider Facebook ads, I'd love to know as well, like probably some businesses out there, they do use Facebook ads to in their business as in B2B realm and ecosystem as well. But things are not necessarily working out as they hope for. Michele, what do you think is the common big mistakes that you see people do or the businesses do or marketers do when running their Facebook ads?
One of the most common mistake we see within competitor, within some clients, running their Facebook ads is limiting their audience in the wrong way, using not detailed enough targeting can be a waste of money. Not many companies nowadays have enough budget to just go broad and try to reach everyone. So the first mistake to avoid is to not narrow your audiences. Have in mind exactly what's the audience that you want to reach and what's the objective that you want to achieve. Once you have clear ideas of these two elements, then you can start building and preparing your campaign. But never forget to have the right audience.
Amazing. And again, we're going dialing back to the importance of audience when it comes to marketing, regardless of the channel that we are talking about. It's really like getting to know your audience and like having a very clear understanding of that objective of yours, which is importance. This leads us nicely to a tool that actually here at Brew we offer for free. And I'm not gonna do the walkthrough because I'm not the expert here. Michele is the expert. Let me see. I will take myself out and I'll leave this to Michele for him to share what this tool is going to be.
That's a very good idea, Debbie. So you can find on our website on Brew Digital a resource hub with a lot of useful templates. What we are showing today is the Facebook ads campaign, which is for free. You don't have to subscribe, you don't have to register or anything. You have two options. You can download the file on your computer and use it offline, or you can click on the right button, make a copy. This will create a duplicate version that you only can access on Google Sheet. This version, you can use it on your own, or you can share it within your team, or you can prepare it and then send it to a copywriter, to a design team, to anyone else working with you. This is, we call it a template because it can help you to generate and scale up activities on Facebook. Now, if these become too complicated for you, or if it's not clear how to use it, just reach out. In the first tab, you will find a link, direct link, where you can request a free audit on your paid social activity, especially for Facebook, but any other platform you're running. Once you move actually to the template, if you click on the second tab, campaigns, this allows you to decide what's your objective. You may have target given by another team. It may be your own project that you decide, but you need to be clear and know why I'm doing this campaign. What do I want to achieve? Do I want people to be aware that my brand exists, or do I want them to register to an event that I'm doing? Do I want to let them download the book, or do I want them to just download our app? So based on what's the objective, you can choose one campaign objective per campaign. Once you know what's your ideal strategy, then you can move to the next tab, which is ad specs. This is an up-to-date version for the requirements that Facebook has on their creatives in terms of design and text. This one, you have to go and read it before you move to the next tabs, because it's important for you to understand what you're allowed to do and what you shouldn't do. These, again, you can share it with your design team. They will have to provide creatives for your ads. Once you're ready and all this information are consolidated, you can move and decide, do I do a single image ad? Single image ad is in the next tab, and as the name says, is an ad with a single image. The single image will contain content or visuals related to the campaign message. So try to be consistent with the campaign message, with the brand colors, of sure, and also with the landing page. Then we prepared for you a couple of automated formulas that if you go over the maximum character limits, there will be a red flag telling you you've written too much. Fill all this information. There is a screenshot on how they may look like. So where your primary ad text will appear, where your headline is showing, where the link description is showing on your ad. Then you need to decide call to action. There is a limited list of call to action that Facebook allow you to use, but in 95% of the cases, you will always find something appropriate for your campaign. You will need a landing page. All the paid activity you do and you will ever do will need a landing page to send the traffic to actually make efficiency in your activity. If you use tracking system, you can add a UTM. And in the end, if you work in different documents, you should add a link to the place where your creatives are. This is one type of ad that you can create within any campaign. The second one is the carousel. It works in a similar way, but on mobile, you can just swipe and move from one card to the other card. On desktop, you just click and you will have all the cards in the order that you decide. The composition of the ad carousel is similar. You will have a primary text, and then you can personalize a headline and a description in each card that you decide to use. We put 4 possible cards there. You can use more, but don't forget that after a certain number of cards, people lose interest and may not engage till the end. So if you follow more than 4 cards, try to have something that make people follow and they want to know more and they will continue till the end of the card. The video ad is similar to the image one, but instead of a static image, you can upload a video. For video, we consider a normal video, a recording, a short, any type of real video that you can take, but also any video element like GIF, where you can generate ads moving. Those 3 type of ads are interesting, because you can use them at the same time in the same campaign, in the same ad set. This is fundamental for Facebook because it will allow you to target and to reach the same person within your audience, but with the three different type of creatives. So if the static image doesn't reach the objective that you want, having a carousel and a video at the same time, rotating all these variation will always help the algorithm to understand better and engage with your ideal audience. You will find this template on our Brew Digital website under the Resource app. If you have any questions, just follow the link and contact us. We are always happy to reply to any question. Uh, I think you're muted. Debbie, you're muted.
And that is why it's good to double check if you've mute yourself. Thank you, Michaela. As I was saying, thank you so much, Michaela, for walking us through those Facebook ads. And what we want to say as well is that please make sure to go to our Facebook, to our Facebook. Yes, you can actually follow us, but
Yeah.
you also need to go to our website on our resource tab in order for you to find out more there. This is a free tool and it's for everyone. So make sure to like check it out. If you have more questions, reach out to our team. Michele is part of the team. Like high likelihood that you will be chatting with him with this regard. Um, so, uh, oh wow, I did not notice, but we actually have some questions here, Michele. So, before we jump through the last question for this segment, um, I would like to like point out, like Tom, I'm not gonna ask that question. Michele can like jump in the comments and reply to you directly. But there is a question here, which is, which one do you feel, Michele, converts the most between, a single ad image, a carousel, and a video?
If for conversion, well, we would need another 20 minutes to decide what we consider as a conversion. What I can say is in terms of engagement, what increase reach faster is a video. Always the video generate the highest engagement, which will bring in a second step, a conversion. So if we want to focus mainly on brand awareness, so where engagement is actually important, then I would go and prioritize video images. You can have video assets, video creatives. So you could have like a couple of video ads, change the headlines, and then include always a static one. You will see that the engagement is higher. When I'm at the conversion level with a static image, I'm just play safe. I can go straight aiming to conversion with a clear message on a single image. I use carousel especially for cheaper reason. When I engage with a carousel, I will spend more time staying on an ad because I do have to manually scroll. So the time I'm spending on that ad is higher, and the more I see a brand and read content in the short term will help me remind him of them and come back.
Okay, there you have it. And I think there's a really good parallel point here that Michele has shared that could also be applied to, organic social, which is, it is true, and we cannot run away from it, like how we cannot run away from AI nowadays, which is video is the one that actually leads engagement. I think conversion is a bigger discussion, as Michele said. But if you are looking for that engagement, whether it is paid or organic, please do consider video. And interestingly, you don't have to do high production video nowadays. Anything that is, as long as it's authentic, relatable, and offers value to your audience, I think that video would work quite a lot. Makes sense. Thanks a lot, team. You are welcome. Well, Michele did all the job. I just, asked the question. Okay, Michele, last question for the series before we end it up. I would love to know what your your biggest top tip for maximizing Facebook remarketing ads.
Okay, I'll try. My main tip to optimize Facebook ads is to have the best audience possible. Always try to aim and create an audience that is big enough to have reach and cover the audience that you want. But remember, you should always have an exclusion list which is longer than your actual targeting. So you need to clear and have a very specific audience, because the moment you reach the right people, all the results will come. This one is my main tip. Oh, I would have lots more, but I know we run out of time.
Well, actually, we're getting very interesting questions right now, and I don't want to pass it through. Let's get the first question from Real Fred Concho. I hope I'm saying this correctly, but is it not based on the audience? I guess this question relates to the type of ad, Michele. And I'd love for you to like jump on that one.
It is, but when when we work in Facebook ads, we not always to think that we need to please two ends: the algorithm from Meta and the final user. If we go and exclusively think of the final user, we would do actions that the algorithm wouldn't understand. So we need to give the right amount of the right size audience to the algorithm in order to reach the right user. The middle part of this is with ad variation. So having a right balance between different ad type will help the algorithm to rotate all these creatives. When I say creatives, I mean the static image, the carousel, the video ad. Those will give an idea on what's working better, and they also give opportunity to the robot to understand what interact better with your audience. Now, once you reach, I think the last number was 10,000 impressions. So you run your campaign. Once you reach 10,000 impressions per creative, then you can make your decision. Then you can see actually with the audience you selected and the objective of the campaign you decided, which one engaged better. Because it's possible that a video ad engage better with a certain type of audience in the funnel, but with others, the same the same creative doesn't interact well. So those are things that you need to test. As a best practice, you run with all of them, and then of course you optimize towards the best one.
Mm-hmm. And actually, shameless plug, we just did a webinar recently, and this topic just came up with one of our guest panel, wherein she really, put a lot of emphasis on reviewing and analyzing and changing campaigns. So you cannot just post something out there with your audience and just let it be. It's very important to always revisit, to always reiterate and improve from your learnings. So good point there, Michele. And I have another question here from Eugenia. Hi, are there any tips or tricks to target in Facebook a very niche B2B audience? We prioritize LinkedIn over Facebook because of the powerful targeting options. Eugenia, I would like to say that this is a very good question, and you just asked the right people for this right question, because our clients are very targeted and the product that we're selling is quite niche. So I'm sure Michele has an experience of one or two of these.
It is a good question. One thing I would say, yes, on LinkedIn, you can go as narrow as you want. I think the minimum ideal is 300 accounts, 300 units for an audience. What we did as a trick in Facebook would be import data of our existing customers and generate lookalikes. What LinkedIn is not doing as well as Facebook is the lookalike audiences. They do have a new option which allows you to create and generate those, but Facebook has been doing it for like 10 years at least. So if your ideal target is within existing clients, you just upload. I don't know if I'm going too specific or technical here, but you upload your customer lists emails, or any contact that you have on your account, and then use that to create a 1% to 2% lookalike. You see how big is that audience, and that would actually give you an ideal, a more niche audience that then you can target, refining it even further if you want to exclude the existing customer or if you want to try to expand it a bit more, depending if you target a specific city, a specific country. All the information that we mentioned at the moment are quite generic. There are some elements that may work in Canada that work different in Italy, or they can work in Portugal, but in UK maybe they have different things. So depending on where you want to run this campaign, you can get quite good audience B2B using the lookalikes on Facebook.
Oh, awesome. And with that said, I'd love to know from our audience if you find that quite useful, because if you did, maybe we should create a step-by-step guide, Michele, on how to target very niche audiences. And the same as how we have uploaded a Facebook ads template, we will again upload a free version of this guide, because it is true that when it comes to B2B, we play around with more niche audiences than compared to B2C. So there you have it. I'm sure you guys still have any more questions. And this video, this post will still exist. So please feel free to drop your comments, reach out to the team. We offer, you can contact us, but if you feel like your team needs a deeper dive of paid media, Michele here and the rest of the team does a paid media audit. Thank you so much. And for Michele, my wonderful colleague, see, that was so good. So thank you again for joining me and offering your insights, Michele. And who knows, I'll call you back again for more paid media quiz. Um, and to everyone who joined us, thank you so much. And let us know if there's a new topic you want us to know. Web dev, design, name it, social media, we are here for you. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.